Good morning, everybody. Hello, hello. I'm so dang excited today to welcome you all to Beat the Algorithm. My name is Rachel Adamsley, and I'm so stoked to be your host today. I want to make sure we are recording. We are good to go. Okay, awesome. Are we ready? Are we excited? I'm going to ask you guys to please make sure you are muted when you pop on. This is going to be super fun. Guys, we make sure we mute each other. Can I get your guys' cooperation muting? Thank you so much. All right, so we have tons of people on this webinar today. It's going to be so much fun. We have Keller Williams offices from around the country. We have 18 different offices participating today in this class. In the chat, can you please each tell me who you are and where you are tuning in from? I want to know what market center you are serving. I know we've got agents in individual market centers. You never know who's watching. You never know who you're going to inspire, and you never know where your next referral is coming from. We got Keller Williams Roseville in the house. That's my home office. Let's go. Let's go. We've got Premier Patterson. We've got Westchester. My goodness, we've got Folsom. We have Pennsylvania. We have Natomas. All right, you guys, Arkansas, all over. I'm so stoked for today. All right, so what I'm going to ask you is this: play all in, participate, make sure you are taking notes. If you guys are watching this, then you probably have a handout that looks just like this. If you don't, talk to your team leader, they will get it to you. Make sure you have this printed so that you can follow along with what we're going to talk about today. We are going to go seriously intense for the next hour. And then if I have some time at the end, I'd love to do some Q&A with you guys. And I want to tell you, no questions is silly questions. So when we get to the end, if you guys have questions, please feel free to, we will have some time for you to unmute yourself and connect. I am going to ask that while we do this class, you guys stay muted. If you guys aren't, if you can stay muted, I would super appreciate it. But I promise we will have time to unmute so everybody can connect and we can go through this. Are we ready to start? Are you guys excited? Because I'm excited. I'm ready to do it. All right. So let's chat about this. So first off, who am I and why are we hanging out today? So my name is Rachel Adamsley. I'm so excited to get to chat with you for the next hour here. Guys, can I please have you mute yourselves? I don't have an assistant. I'm just going to mute this person. Okay. All right. So let me give you my little background for those of you who don't know me. Let me just ask this question. How many of you have taken a class with me before? And how many of you are first-time listeners? First time with me. Are we anybody first timers? Are we all like OGs of the group? First time. Hey, yo, welcome. I love it. Okay, cool. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to ask my assistant to get on and mute everybody because this is going to drive me bananas.
Rachel, if you want to give me co-host ability, I can do it for you.
God bless you, child. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Awesome. All right, cool. We're ready to rock. I have my Lauren in the house. Life is going to be good. Okay. So for those of you who don't know me, just to give you a quick intro on who I am, my name is Rachel Adamsley, and I get to be your host today. I got into real estate in 2012. So when I jumped in, I was a brand new realtor. I was actually working a full-time job at the time. And I remember, I was in a really unhealthy marriage and I'm paycheck behind a paycheck. And I just wanted to have like a big, successful life and feel good. And I had made some difficult personal choices early on in my life.
Did you send me an email survey?
Okay. So I had made some difficult choices and found myself like paycheck behind a paycheck in a really difficult marriage. And I was like, I know I want more for my life, but what does this look like? And I've always been there for other people, but I never really counted on me. And I stumbled across Keller Williams and heard about this class called Bold. And it was a real estate like sales course and also had a lot of personal growth in it. And I jumped in. So I went to the first step of Bold and I heard a quote that rocked my world. And it was change the way you look at things so the things you look at change. And that one quote made me have the guts to quit my job. So I had a full-time job that I quit. I jumped into real estate. My first year was super intense. I door knocked 200 doors a week and I did 3 open houses every week. So knocked 200 doors and 3 open houses, and I didn't sell any homes for the first 4 months, you guys. So you can imagine knocking that many doors, doing that many open houses and not getting any results was really difficult. But I also knew that like the top realtors, the realtors that were having a big life and doing a lot of business, they did these things. And so I kept going and I kept showing up. And even though I didn't sell any homes for the first 4 months, I ended up selling 39 houses the first year, then 109, then 123. So 3 years in, I became a top 1,000 agent in the country, still have that designation today. That beautiful little fam bam you see on the right there is my crew. So I'm married to Ryan Lee, who is the most attractive man in America, just ask me. And we have 3 boys. We have Henry, who is almost 5, Harrison, who the little curly haired one, he is 2.5, and Hayden is 1.5. So I'm full-time mama, full-time realtor. I'm also a coach. And I am so passionate about helping people build their businesses. I will say, while I started with open houses and door knocking, I quickly realized that wanting to be a mom, I wasn't going to be able to keep up that pace of knocking in open houses and be a present mom. So I decided that I would add social media in. Now, when I started on social media, like we're talking 2012. So this is like, we still had MySpace, right? Like it was a little bit different than it is now. But the one thing that I said is like, how can I make myself stand out for my competition? What are people doing wrong? And everyone said we were like used car salesmen. Everybody said we were slimy and we were like used car salesmen. I remember thinking like, why did they think that of us? And it was because so many people about how much money they could make, how many houses they could sell. I was like, but isn't this also about giving people the American dream? Like they're choosing the biggest like financial commitment they've ever made, and they're choosing me. Like what an honor, right? And so I decided I was going to shift my mindset, and I started to focus on social media. And I will tell you, like, the first year when I decided I would do it, I got 17 referrals, and then 30, and then 50. The most I've had is 131 referrals come through in 1 year. Now, I will tell you too that I started on Facebook. When I got that dialed, I then launched my Instagram channel. When I launched that and had that dialed, I then launched YouTube. I think there's a lot of pressure right now to be everything to everyone all the time, and make sure you're on TikTok and Snapchat and Twitter and like all the things. What I will tell you is I want you to pick 1 or 2, and I want you to dive deep. Okay. Why is social media important? Why is social media important? So NAR, National Association of Realtors, says that 89% of all realtors are on social media in some form. 89%. Social media is important because if you don't have a presence on it, honestly, you're going to get left behind. You're going to get left behind in this industry because our audience is on social media. Your next buyer, your next seller, your future referral partners, guys, they're on social media. So if you don't have a presence on social, you're not going to be able to last and have longevity in this career, because your referrals, your past clients can only get you so far if you want to scale your business, if you want to grow your business. And for me, I want to grow, but I want to grow with intention. My being a wife and being a mom is my #1 priority. And I also want to have a big business. So I have structured my business in a way, which I'm going to walk through with you, to be able to get home at 4 o'clock and be with my kids and make dinner for them and put them to bed at night, because those are the things that matter to me, right? So I think it's really important that you figure out what your life looks like, and then you map it out around what matters to you, right? So we're going to be talking today about the social media algorithm. What we're also going to do, because it was requested, is I'm going to dig through with you, and we're going to also talk about my 9-step social media model, so you know how to build a business around social media, and then you weave the algorithm into that. Because if you don't understand what the algorithm is, and you don't understand how social media works, you can't put them together. So what is the algorithm? What is the algorithm? Now, the algorithm, this specifically talks about Instagram, but I want you to know that this works across all platforms for what this means. At the end of the day, the algorithm is the impact and influence you have on social. It's the eyes you get on your content. The algorithm is what decides who sees your content, and it decides the content that you see. I told you guys that I've got 3 kiddos. Well, I had 3 kids in 4 years. So I was basically pregnant for 100 years. And when I was having babies, I'm looking at online at like birth stories and onesies. And so what does the algorithm do? It gives me more of what I want. It put everything baby related in front of me, because the goal of the algorithm is to keep you on the platform as long as humanly possible. So how does this work? You make a post. You're going to make a post, whether it's an actual like picture post or it's a reel. And it's going to reach, right now, the current algorithm lets you see about 10% of your followers. Okay. So you make a post and it reaches 10% of your followers. Then what happens, depending upon the quality of the post you made, is they either engage with your content or they're going to ignore it. If they ignore it, your post is going to fail. They're going to scroll away from your content. They're not going to engage. They're not going to complete reading your post. They're not interested. So your post fails and you're not going to reach more people. However, on the contrary, if you post and it goes well, people are going to start to engage with you. They're going to like, they're going to comment, they're going to share, they're going to go to your page, and your watch time increases. You are rewarded on the algorithm for your watch time. What is your watch time? Your watch time is when so we'll dig into it when we get to the reels on this section. But when you go to if you go to my Instagram channel, and you go to my page and you see a reel that I make, right? A reel is your short form video. I do a lot of reels. So you go to my post and you see a reel and you see that I've made this video. And usually my videos, guys, they're like 7 to 10 seconds, maybe 20 seconds, but they're not long. But what you get in that reel, what you get in my post is a quick hook, something to grab you, I want you to write this down if you're taking notes. You've got 2 seconds, guys. You have 2 seconds to grab someone's attention when they're scrolling on social, okay? So you have 2 seconds to grab someone's attention when they're scrolling. Then what happens is I grab them, they watch the video, and then I give them a message, something to read in my caption. And my captions, as you guys know, they're not short. I'm pretty long-winded. I like to chat. I like to share the story, right? So they're going to be reading my story. They're reading my post. They're reading the caption. The longer they're on my page, the more the algorithm thinks, she's doing something right. Let's give her even more eyes. Let's give her some more non-followers. And so they engage. You get more people seeing your content. They engage. Eventually, when you get enough content and enough eyes, your content is then recommended on the explore page. So when someone's scrolling, your reel pops up, then they engage, and then you have the opportunity to go viral. Now, does something going viral change your world? No, it does not change your world. However, I will tell you that I am very intentional on what I post about, and you're going to be as well after we go through this. And once you get real clarity on what you talk about on social media and how you talk about it, your engagement's going to go up as well. And then my goal for you is for your referrals to go up. With social, I've got 2 goals here. I am either educating or I'm entertaining people. I'm either educating or I'm entertaining people. And if I'm doing this well, I have a balance of both. Let's go ahead and do this just because this is a class where we're actually allowed to do it. I want everyone to go on Instagram real quick and go to my page. So go on Instagram and you're going to look at Rachel Adams Lee. Okay. So once you get to my page, so if you're on the actual page, you can see my posts and my reels. You also could just go to my reels, which is you click the second little button here in the middle. And what do you see here? You see words on a screen and you see what's called hooks. Okay. And so what you notice here is it says struggling with mom guilt. That's a hook. So anyone who's struggling with mom guilt, like the work-life balance, is going to be like, yes, oh my gosh, I am. Tell me more about it. And this, if you click on this video, you'll notice the actual video, guys, it's only about 10 seconds long. But then down here, I talk about how to master time blocking because I'm teaching a free class on Thursday for realtors. If you're struggling with time blocking, I'm teaching it a free class. You can register later, but it's all on here. And then what you do is you're scrolling, you're educating. So what I believe is that you can entertain them with your picture, with your post, or with your video, and then you educate in the caption. The caption is where we get to position ourselves as the expert. I think a lot of people make the mistake, realtors that I see, of like telling too much in the video and not enough in the caption. You are rewarded for your watch time. And so you just have a quick bit of time to grab their attention, and then you're going to educate with them in the caption. And that's kind of like how the balance of social media works with the new algorithm changes. So I want to ask you, how are you providing value? What does it look like for you when you get on social media? Because if you're doing this effectively, your page then becomes somewhere where they want to go. When people go to my page, they know exactly what they can expect when they come to see what I'm doing. And I will tell you this, and again, if you're taking notes, I want you to write this down. People might find you because you're in real estate. They might find you because you're in real estate, but guys, they're going to stick around because of who you are and how you make them feel. And so I like to teach people about buying homes and selling homes and investing in real estate. I like to teach people about how to have a healthy marriage because that's my top priority. I like to teach people about, my health and my fitness journey that I've been on because I just lost 50 pounds in the last 7 months, right? Like, so I don't talk to them just about selling houses. I talk to them about things that are happening in my world and who I am as a person. And then, by the way, I also happen to help buy and sell homes because I want them to know me as a person. I'm so much more likely to have somebody want to hang out with me because of who I am versus like the fact that I sell homes. But I'm really good at selling houses, right? I'm a top agent, but they're going to stick around with me from the relationship. And then when they need someone who needs to buy or sell a home, they come to me because we already have that established relationship and that connection. All right, so let's dig into the model. Taylor, I see your question and I will make sure to address it during Q&A. So I see there's going to be some questions. Please make sure to put them in there, you guys. We'll make sure to scroll back through and you guys can unmute yourself during Q&A time. But what I want to do for the next like 20 minutes is we're going to dig through my 9-step social media model because before we dig into the changes of 2024 in the algorithm, I want us to get a very clear understanding of how to actually build a business through social media, because I think this is really important to kind of walk through. So I'm going to break this down for you guys. And this is where you're going to need your handout as well. So real estate's a relationship-based business, right? And we just happen to be in the business of buying and selling homes. So my goal for you is to build true relationships through social media. I have some incredible friendships that I've never met them in real life, but I feel like I know them. We have things in common and we connect. And you can bet that if I have a referral going their way in Oregon or Alaska, it's going to go to those agents because I've connected with them on like a human level, right? So the first thing you're going to do, and everyone has their handout right here, we talk about our pillars of content. So this is what I want you to think about. So if you were to think like, okay, who am I as a person? What makes me tick? Why would somebody hang out with me on the weekend? You're going to have pillars of content. This is who you are as a person. So everyone's going to write down 1 through 5. Number 1 is going to be real estate because that is the industry that we're in. And then 2 through 5, it's going to be individual for each person. Maybe you like clean eating and working out, you'd write it down. Maybe you like hunting and fishing, you'd write it down. DIY projects. If you're married and you have kids, I hope you like them, right? Like you write it down. My goal is for you to have 5 different things that you can talk about. Whereas like if we were on a walk and we were walking by a park bench and I said, hey, can we sit down for 5 minutes? And we sit down and I said, tell me about this. You have to do no research because you know it so well. You could just passionately talk about something that makes you tick. Okay. And if you're stuck, if you have 4 things and you don't know what your 5th is, you have 2 options. Option 1, you can reach out to your best friend after this class and be like, hey, I got a social media challenge. I need to come up with 5 things I'm passionate about. So far, I can only come up with 4. What would you say my 5th is? They're going to know right away. Okay. The other option is hotspots. Hotspots where you live, such as I live in El Dorado Hills, but I would say like, okay, so if I, like Sacramento is probably the place where most of you guys can think about. So I'm in Northern California, right? Send your referrals. But I'm in Northern California, but like Sacramento area. So number 5 for me, if I think hotspots, I would be like the 5 best dog parks in Sacramento, the 3 brunch spots you have to try this Saturday in Sacramento, right? The happy hour locations that you've got to go to in Sacramento. So hotspots are going to be like things that make you the local expert. And I think about that all the time. So I do social media audits for realtors where I like do a one-on-one coaching call with you and I dig through your content and we pull it apart and then we help you come up with like an actual strategy to help get referrals through your business and build your social presence. And when I'm doing this, a lot of times what I find is people just don't have clarity on what they talk about. So they're like, well, I'm kind of going to post about this and I'm kind of going to post about that. When you come up with your pillars of content, you're literally going to rotate through these topics. And if you go on my social, do you know what you're going to see? You're going to see me talk about real estate because that's the industry that I'm in. You're going to see me talk about being a wife and a mama because that's my number one passion, right? You're going to see me talk about my postpartum health and fitness journey because that's really important to me. And I finally made my health a priority. You're going to see me talk about personal growth, being the best version of myself. And then you're going to see me talk about multiple streams of income because I believe in that. And so when you come to my page, this is what you can expect. Now, am I a realtor? Absolutely. But I don't talk about it every single day, because I don't want to drown people out. The mistake I see a lot of realtors make is they think like, oh, they're super professional, they're super good, so they have to just talk about, the fact that I'm, like, oh, look at the house I just sold, look at my new listing, right? And you're going through that. That's not what it's about, right? There's so much more to you. So make sure you really do go through these. Now, when should you be posting? I would suggest for you posting first thing in the morning. I want you to post first thing in the morning. Why? Because when you post first thing in the morning, you have the most amount of time for people to respond throughout the day. Now, I use an app called Google Keep. That is my favorite thing. I use that to prep my post the night before. Because what I used to do is I'd wake up in the morning and the first thing I do is I grab my phone and I start scrolling. And I see the person who just like made their kids, like handmade lunch and wrote the love note. And I'm like, oh, that's so nice. And I see someone else who just worked out and, someone who just called their 100th house and it's like March. And I remember just waking up and already starting to judge myself harshly. And I was like, well, that's crummy. Like, I don't feel good this way, right? And so instead, what I did is I was like, okay, what could this actually look like for me? And I realized that if I can prep my post the night before, then I wake up in the morning, I put my content out there, I put my contribution out there to the world, and then I can enjoy the rest of my morning. So I want to encourage you to post first thing in the morning. Okay. The algorithm will tell you, if you Google like best time to post, it might tell you like 6 in the morning till 7:14. Don't stress about that. Don't stress about that. First thing in the morning. And the next best time is whatever time you can commit to. For me, I wake up before my kids, a half hour before my kids, and I either make my post or I make my reel that morning. Like this morning, I made a post about restaurants that I dined at in Cabo because a bunch of people were asking me about it. And I had a picture of this like dress that I really liked that I wore in Cabo. And that thing's going crazy right now because you'll notice we're going to talk about how you make a post, but the way that I did it, I talked about first topic. Or the first line, I talk about what the post is about. So when they're scrolling, they can see if it resonates with them. I have an eye-catching photo to grab their attention. I give the body of my post and then I ask a question. I'm like, did I miss anything? Have you tried these restaurants? The point of social, guys, is to have engagement. So you have to have highly shareable, highly engageable content so that people want to connect with you. And guess what the algorithm's seeing right now? They're seeing people watching my post. They're seeing people reading through my content and they're like, oh, she's doing something right. Let's give more eyes on her content. Followers and non-followers, guys. So how much are you posting real estate and how much are you posting business? So you're going to be doing 80% personal on your personal page, 80% personal, 20% business, 80% personal, 20% business. Can I give you a really, really good tip for a business post you guys can make today? I'm going to go back to this slide so you can grab a picture of it. Take a picture of the slide right now. I'll smile for you. So what you're going to do is a business post that you can make. You can actually take a picture of this slide and then on your social media later today, after we're done with the class, you're going to make a post and you're going to say, got to learn from a top agent in the country how she got over 130 referrals last year through social media. If you want a copy of my notes, leave your email below. Now you're going to put that on your page, right? And what happens then? You're going to get a bunch of emails from realtors around the country, local business owners, stay-at-home mamas who are wanting to build businesses, right? You're going to have people from around the world who are watching your social media who then are like, wait, I want more referrals. I want to grow my business. And because you are the realtor that's helping them build their business and giving them notes, you then just added value to them and you become someone they want in their world. Whenever I like hear a good podcast or I've had the opportunity to meet like Oprah and oh my gosh, what is her name? Creator Spanx, Sarah Blakely? No. What is her last name? I'm blinking. What is Sarah's last name? The Creator Spanx. Someone's going to know in the comments for me. Or say it. Who is it?
It's Blakely.
Is it Blakely?
Yeah.
Okay.
Blakely, you're right.
I was like, dang, it's like in my head. You guys got me. Thank you. So anyways, whenever I meet someone like them, I take a bunch of notes and then I offer on social to give a copy of my notes to anyone who wasn't able to have that same experience, because I want everyone to be able to grow and feel good. And again, if I'm the person who's constantly adding value to them, then I become someone they want in their world. Now, am I sending them the notes and being like, by the way, do you need to buy or sell a home? Never. I don't do that. But when I have something important, I share it. And at the very end, I'm like, by the way, if you know anyone looking to buy or sell in Northern California, I'd be so honored if you'd send them my way. I have like little lines that I do all the time, and it works very, very well, because what I will tell you is this: when I think about growing a referral business, I think about agents, building agent relationships around the country, but then also clients and community. I want to be that local expert. When you talk about the hot spots, like we have a new park that just opened up in El Dorado Hills. So I went before it opened and I did a reel there. I have not posted it because I have to edit it still, but I went and did a video there because I'm like, man, this is going to be really good. And then what you'll notice is when I post it, I'm going to be like, tag your mama friend you want to do a play date with. Right? You don't get the business you don't ask for. So it is absolutely okay on Instagram to say, tag, comment, share. You can say it on Instagram. You get penalized on Facebook, but you can say it on Instagram. Okay, so is my Instagram account a business or a personal? Rhonda, such a great question. So on Instagram, every single one of you needs to change your page to be a creator profile, not a business profile, and definitely not a personal profile. Why creator? Because when you have a creator profile, it opens up your insights so you can have the best analytics for who's following you when they're on social and what they're looking for. But then also you get the most amount of trending audio. You are limited on the trending audio you can get if you're a business profile. And you might say, Rachel, why would I be a business profile or not? Why would I be a creator and not a business profile? I want you to think of a business profile as like someone who's selling a product. Like if you sell shampoo or you sell pens, you're a business account. You have a physical product you're selling, but a creator account is more what we are. We are creators. We are creating social content. We are creating opportunities for people to buy or sell. So that's what I want you to think about. Now, I will say this, the 80-20 principle rule applies to my personal page. 80% of what I post is personal, 20% is business. On my business page on Facebook, I flipped the rule. 80% of what I talk about is business and 20% is personal. On Instagram, I only have one page that I focus on. It is a personal page. It's a creator page, but I do not have a business page that I use on Instagram to build my business. So do you need to have a business or personal? On Facebook, I want you to have a business and a personal page, because you definitely want to have on Facebook, like you'll notice, so this is a picture of my examples. My business Facebook page is branded. It's got my headshot. It's got my business hours. Like you can know all the things, right? And then on my personal page, it's very different. It's got the picture of my kid's feet, a little booty. You can tell the difference between the two, but my business page is important on Facebook because if you Google Rachel Adams Lee Realtor, my business page will pop up, not my personal page. Okay. My business page, not my personal page. And so I do want to have that. You can get reviews there and testimonials. So I think it's important to have that. However, all my referrals, guys, come to my personal pages. I don't get referrals to my business pages. And then on Instagram, I just have one. Okay, Jen says, do I auto post from Instagram to Facebook? So, okay, I will tell you, yeah, it's kind of, she said that like if you ask them to tag or different things, like Facebook and Instagram are different. So I will have my posts not connected, but I will have my stories connected. So you always want to post separately. I always post first on Facebook, then on Instagram. I'm very wordy, and on Instagram, you're limited to 2,200 characters. So I make sure that I get my content out on Facebook, then I post on Instagram. So you want to post those separately so that you kind of follow the rules of each platform. Because you don't need hashtags on Facebook, but you do need them on Instagram, right? Okay, I'm gonna keep going because if I look at all the questions, I'm not gonna be able to finish. So I'm gonna get through the content and then we'll have some Q&A time. Okay, you are welcome. All right, how much time should you be posting? So this actually just changed in the algorithm. I had to update this slide. Last 4 months ago, you should be posting 5 to 7 times a week. God bless it, because they just changed the algorithm. They want more quality and less quantity. So they say you can post 3 to 5 times a week, and that's it, you guys. 3 to 5 times a week. But what should you be posting? Let's talk about it. So the current algorithm right now, if you want to build your presence on social, and I'll dig into it more when we get to like the actual changes for 2024, but I will tell you this, if you can do one business post, 2 personal posts, and 1 reel, that's it, you guys. 1 business post, 2 personal posts, and 1 reel a week. That will be enough to help you build and sustain a business and get some new followers. Now, how you do your reels and the content that you choose, that's what's going to make or break your post and see if you're going to get more followers or not. And I do have something at the end that can help you with that. How much should you be on social? So I don't want you stressing. I think the thing that I really love about social media is like, we are not saving lives. We're not saving lives. We're just selling houses. There is pressure that you feel like, oh my gosh, someone commented, I have to respond. Oh, someone liked it, I have to respond. And you're like, all the things. This is how I do it. I make my post first thing in the morning. Okay. An hour later, I go back in and I respond to everybody, because what the algorithm wants you to do is use the platform. And how do you use the platform? I want you to think about almost like tools, right? So you can make a post, you can like something, you can comment on something, you can send an audio message, you can send a direct message, you can go live, you can do a reel, right? I just named like 7 things. The more tools you use on a platform, the more eyes they're going to give you on your content. So the way that I have mapped this out is I make a post. An hour later, I go back in and I connect with everyone who connected on my post. What does that do? Make a post, like, comment, engage. I just hit 4 tools. The algorithm's like, oh, she's doing something right. Let's give her more eyes. Then what I do, guys, is an hour before the end of the day, I go back in and I connect with everybody again. Like right now, and I know it seems silly because it was just a post about restaurants, but I took a picture, the picture that I posted this morning, which you're welcome to look at it if you're going to Cabo. I also have a dress that I super duper liked that I never got to share. And so I picked that dress picture to share, and easily 50% or more of the comments are about the wanting a link for my dress versus, thanks, Rick, versus wanting to know about the restaurants. But again, it's just about adding value to people. And so every person who's asking for the link for my dress, I'm going to have to go find that dang dress link because I want to add value to them. And later on, when they buy that dress and they post it, you know what they're going to do? They're going to tag me. And what does that do, you guys? It deepens the relationship. It might seem silly because it's just a picture and it's just, but I am sharing. I always think, how can I add value to others? If they're traveling to Cabo, go to all the bougie restaurants that I ate at. They're delicious. I love food. I love eating. Go to those places and then tell me you went, right? So what I will say this is like, when I sit down with an agent, so I do a lot of coaching, right? And when I sit down with an agent, I'm like, okay, I want you to think of your business like the legs of a chair. So the legs of a chair have a really strong foundation, right? There's 4 legs that hold up this chair. What are the 4 legs to your business going to be that's going to give you a sustainable, healthy business? Number 1 is going to be your database, the people who like you, who love you, who want to refer business to you. Okay. So you have 4 legs to your chair. So now you've got 1 leg. What are the other 3 legs to your chair going to be? Because you cannot just build a business off referrals. You cannot just build a business off your database. You cannot just build a business off social media. There has to be more things that you build your business with. And so for me, when I look at my business, I'm like, my database, 100% the people who like me, who love me, who want to refer business to me. Then social media is a big leg of my business, right? But then also, like, my last 2 listings have been expired listings. That is a leg of my business, you guys. I get listings from expired listings. And so that is a leg of my business. And then I do business to business relationships as well, right? But the way that I want you to think of this is when I am building this business, I don't just like count on social media alone to do this all for me. It all works together. But I think of social media, honest, as like my reward. So like if I'm doing expired listing prospecting, I'm like, okay, got that done. Now let me check in on social and see what's going on with my people. And that's a great time to go back in and respond to your comments, because it's kind of like, I don't know if it's for you, but for me, I get like a little dopamine hit when I'm on social and I'm seeing my people and I'm checking out what they're doing. But I'm really intentional with how I use my time on social media. I'm not just like sitting back and being like, right? You're just a lazy liker. No, I'm super intentional with how I build and what that looks like. So how do we lead generate on social media? What does this look like? You guys might want to take a screenshot of this slide because this is my script that I use. So if I'm doing lead gen, so I do lead gen in 2-hour blocks. Like, I don't know if it's just a real estate thing. Gary told me it in the very beginning of my career, right? He talks about it in the Red Book. Lead generate in 2-hour blocks. 2 hours is like the longest I can focus on anything. Is anyone else feel that way? So what I do is when I'm going to lead generate on social media, I go to a higher producing post I have. Like I just went to an anniversary trip with Ryan and we went to Tahoe or something like that, right? A lot of people are going to comment on your post. And what happens when someone comments on your post is like, you're going to obviously comment back to them because you're not posting and ghosting. But what people don't realize are the likes are actually a golden opportunity. They're literally someone sitting there going, hey, I'm sitting here. I'm watching what you're doing. I'm right here for you. Right. And so somebody likes your post and someone comments on your post. This is how I lead generate on social. My comments get commented back to in my time blocking time, right? Because I do it twice a day. But my likes, what I do for a time block is I will go on my computer. I don't do this on my cell phone. It's way too hard. I go on my computer, I click on the likes on a post, I copy them, I paste them into a Word doc, and I go one by one. Now, I'm very proactive in my real estate business for how I build it. I'm intentional in my coaching business for how I build it. I'm intentional with my marriage, with my kids. So social media is not going to be any different. So when I am building on social, I'm going to be proactive. I'm going to look at that person's page. So they like my post. I'm going to look at their page and I'm going to see something super personal happening in their business that I resonate with, that I can connect with them. And then this is the script. So say that Rick likes my post and Jen commented on my post, right? And Jen's like, oh my gosh, Rachel, happy anniversary. Looks like you and Ryan had a great time in Tahoe. I'm gonna be like, thanks, Jen. Like we had such a good time. Super appreciate you. Then Rick liked my post. Well, what I'm going to do when I'm doing a lead gen block is I'm going to go on Rick's page. I'm going to see what's happening in his world. Maybe he and his wife just got back from a trip to Africa, or his daughter just graduated from kindergarten. So Rick liked my post. I send him a private message. Hey, Rick, thanks so much for connecting with me on my anniversary post. We had the best time in Tahoe. Oh my gosh, I saw you and your wife just got back from a trip to Africa. What a bucket list. How exciting for you guys. Do you have any plans coming up for the rest of summer? Because right now is summer. And you know what I would do if it was spring? I'd be like, do you have any plans coming up for spring or winter or fall? I like to do it based off the season because that's what works for me. But I will tell you this, you guys, 131 referrals. We had over 100 referrals last year. It was a little bit more of a difficult year in real estate. I think we all can agree. I was telling someone the other day, I'm like, if you don't think about it like blowing up the entire business at least like once or twice a year, like, are you even an entrepreneur? Anyone else feel that way? I feel like that's a real coming up. But this is how I build these relationships and I build this business, because when you send someone a private message and you connect with them on their personal life and something happening in their world, you deepen the relationship, you deepen the connection, and then they feel like they know you. And this is where the real referrals can come from. And so I always ask them about something personal happening in their world. And what happens when I ask somebody about their world? That's right. They're going to ask me about mine. And we're going to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And we're going to connect and we're going to build this relationship. And then eventually, when the transition feels natural, I say something to the effect of, okay, so Rick, can you tell me the area that you serve? Like the specific area that you serve in the comment? So Rick and I are going back and forth. We're connecting. We're talking about, you know, his trip to Africa. He's asking me about my kiddos. And I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, Harrison you know, Harrison's potty training right now. Hayden's still teething. Life's a little crazy. And Rick and I are going to go back and forth. And then eventually at some point, I'm going to say something to Rick and I'm going to say, you know what, Rick, I really feel like we've aligned really well in our personal lives, which makes me think we'd probably align in our business lives as well. I don't have a great referral partner in Northwest Arkansas. Do you have one in Northern California? That's how I build these relationships, guys. I get to know people on a personal level. But I will say this, like, have you ever been scrolling on social and you see someone's post and you're like, ugh, I would never be friends with that person in real life? That's when you get to delete them. That's where you get to block them and unfollow them. You get to choose who you surround yourself with in your personal life and also your business life, but also on social media. So I think be intentional and be very discerning when you're going through that process of who you want to build relationships with. Okay. Now, the next thing, you guys have this in your content. Everyone has the top 25. This is going to be a homework assignment for you guys. Okay. So, every single month on my real estate team, I pick 25 names of people that I'm already friends with on social, but I'm not seeing their content. So 25 names of people I'm already friends with on social, but I am not seeing their content. Okay. We talked about how the current algorithm lets you see about 10% of your friends. The max you can get to right now with this algorithm is about 40%, guys. 40%. Think about, you always see the same highlights, the same stories, the same people's posts. The rule is if you're not seeing them, guys, they're not seeing you. So how do you get in front of your competition? How do you get in front of the people who you want to see, the people who like you, who love you, who could actually refer business to you if you stayed top of mind? It's called my top 25. So this is going to be your challenge. And I want you to do this every single month. And even better, pick someone in your office or pick your best referral partner or whatever you want to do. Pick someone who you resonate with, and you're going to help hold each other accountable. And every single month, you're going to pick 25 names. Now, it could be 25 local business owners. It could be 25 realtors from around the country. It could be 25 of your past clients. And this is going to be the rule. 5 minutes before you make a post, you're going to comment on 5 of those people's posts, a comment of 5 words or more. This is called Rachel's rule of 555. And this changes the game, you guys. You will not believe how well this works. So you're going to have your list of your top 25 people. These are people that you're already friends with, but you're not seeing their content. 5 minutes before you make a post or you post a reel, you're going to comment on 5 of these people's posts, a comment of 5 words or more. And do you know what that does, guys? Boom, you are in the algorithm. All of a sudden, these people who like you, who love you, who could refer business to you, but you're not top of mind, they're seeing your content. You're spending so much time being intentional, building your business. You're taking the class. You're like, yes, I'm fired up. I'm going to rock my social. Now people are actually going to see it who I want to see it so I can build my business and get more referrals. Do you guys see how that works? Like I coach agents all around the country, right? On social. And I literally have people reaching out to me. They're like, oh my gosh, Rachel, the top 25 is changing my life, the 555. And what starts to happen, friends, when you do this really intentionally is your referrals start to grow. Your views start to grow. Your comments, your shares, your likes, your saves, like your people start to see what you're doing when you follow this 9-step model. And I promise you the referrals are going to come as well. And then how you identify those top 25, you are going through your friends list. Sorry, I thought I mentioned that, but I was on my roll. So you're going through your friends list and you're picking 25 people that you're already friends with, but you're not seeing their content. So you're literally combing through your friends list and you're looking for people that you're already friends with, but you're not seeing their content anymore. Because again, if you're not seeing their content, they're not seeing yours. So this is where you get really intentional with who you build these relationships with. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense for you guys. Okay. So the next thing I want to dig in with you is we're actually going to break down the algorithm changes for 2024. So we went through the model. Now let's talk about how these actually are going to be affecting your social in 2024. Okay. So in 2023, it was all about reels. It was just post video. That's going to grow your platform. This year, video and photos and video. So we're back to like quality content. The post I just made this morning is a post that's adding massive value to a lot of people, right? And what's interesting to me is like that same post on Facebook versus Instagram. On Facebook right now, it's crushing it. On Instagram, it's more quiet. But guess what? My main referrals are still from Facebook. I still get 70% of my referrals from Facebook and like 30% is more, I'd say like 25% is Instagram and then the rest is YouTube. Instagram is quick on its heels because I grow a lot of my business through Instagram now for my coaching side of things. But like, don't feel that you just have to be like a master on video. You can do photos as well. In 2023, it was all about hashtags. Now we've got keywords. In 2023, which I'll dig into what keywords are for you guys. In 2023, it was all about likes and saves. Now it's shares. Don't just like and save someone's post. We want you to share it, which means you have to have highly, highly shareable content that people in your local market care about or that other people are going to resonate with. So it's going to seem silly, but like I'm very, very crystal clear that I am a working mama. Like if you go on my page, you can't be on there for 2 seconds without understanding that I'm a working mama and I'm passionate about that, right? I had a video that I saw and it's literally, guys, like a 7-second video and it's my son, my baby Hayden, and he's crawling on the ground. And I saw a quote that I really liked and it said like, kids don't have memories before the age of 4. Isn't it so special that all these things we're doing for them is just for us? Like slow down and enjoy the moment, mama. And I was like, oh my gosh, that resonates with me so much. So I made a video, popped those words on the top, paired it with some trending audio, the hashtags, made a post. Guys, that thing is at 8.4 million views. 8.4 million views. That's called it going viral. And you might think, Rachel, how in the world does posting videos about your kids help, like, make any difference in real estate? Well, 8.4 million views. It got me about 2,300 new followers. And I got a message from someone. A couple weeks ago, I got a message from someone and she said, hey, Rachel, this is going to seem super random. I found you because of mama stuff, but I also noticed that you're a realtor. I live in North Carolina and my neighbor is looking to sell her house. And I was wondering if you knew of anyone who could help her. You might not, because I know you live in California, but just let me know. Guys, I got a $4,000 referral fee for that one. A $4,000 referral fee for posting a video of my kid. So you might be like, does it make sense? How does this work? That's how this beautiful thing works. You are so much more than just selling houses. So don't be afraid to share what matters to you. If it's something that resonates with your heart, like that for me was like, oh my gosh, that's so sweet. Now it is funny because part of this, which made me laugh, is like the people that are messaging. The reason this thing went viral partially is because all these other people are on Instagram and they're like, you're a liar. I remember things from the day I was born. And I was like, whoa, bro. Like some people are just like super silly and ridiculous in their comments, but you know what? The algorithm likes it. I don't really care, right? It resonated with me and with my people, the people who connect with me, those are the people I care about. The rest, I don't give a lick. I'm not going to be for everyone. I'm very high energy. I'm very positive. I'm obsessed with my husband. I love my kids. I love real estate. Like there are things that I'm crystal clear on who I am and also who I'm not. And so I'm going to resonate with some, not with others. I believe the right clients come to us. Okay. So next, aesthetic feed versus valuable and relevant. Thank the sweet Lord, because when last year I worked so hard at making sure that all of my cover photos on my reels had my brand color and I would have to go in Canva and create, it was like so much freaking work. Now the algorithm doesn't care about it. They would rather that you are valuable and relevant and sharing what matters to you versus having it looked perfect. So if you're worried to like not post a meme because it doesn't like match your feed, heck with it, post it if it brings you joy. Last year, all about longer reels. This year, short and long. What I mean by short and long is short is, I would say 20 seconds or less. Long is up to 90 seconds. And that is more for like a reel that you're educating. So if you want to explain something, definitely long reels can do well. Like they call them talking head, where literally I'm on my phone and I'm like talking, telling you like all the things, right? And so short and long reels are good. But what I will say about this is make sure no matter what you do with a reel, guys, you have a good hook on there to grab them. Because if you don't grab them in the first 2 seconds, you're going to lose them. And if you need more help with reels, let me know. 2023 single line captions. That's where like you just have a 1-line caption. 2024 in depth. Again, we're watching for that watch time, right? Let me dig in. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to give you a couple examples as we break this down. So 2023, look at how I worked so hard to have it all look really pretty. 2024, I get to just embrace who I am, make it a little bit easier and a little bit better. Oops, sorry, wrong way. 2023 hashtags. So hashtags are where you do the little pound sign and you have like Sacramento Realtor. And then keywords is where you do the exact same thing, but you take off the hashtag, you write the words and you put a comma in between them. So it would be like Sacramento Realtor, comma, working mom, comma, realtor life, comma. Total transparency, I still prefer hashtags. The algorithm is down with both. So if you're doing one or the other, it's totally okay. You don't need to stress it. What I do is so you know how I have my 5 pillars of content? I have 5 different hashtag sets. So this will answer your question, Taylor. She said, does it make a difference to use the same hashtags every post or should you mix it up? You want your hashtags to resonate with the content that you're posting. So I have 5 hashtag sets. I have one for being a mama. I have one for being a realtor. I have one for, multiple streams of income. So you can do up to 30 hashtags. And so like last year they were like, oh, only do 5 to 7 hashtags. You can do up to 30. You don't get penalized if you do 30. So I would have 5 hashtag sets, 5 hashtag sets of 30 hashtags for each pillar of content that you have. Likes versus shares. Likes, it was all about that last year. This year, it's all about the shares you have. So I want you doing highly shareable content to help you build your business. Okay. Some great ideas of shareable content: 5 best dog parks, 4 top brunch spots, top happy hour spots you need to hit, 5 best date night locations, 5 reasons why you need to move to your city, forewarner is you have to stop by this summer. And then one of my favorite ones, day in the life of a realtor. Have you ever thought about taking them along on your day? Like, good morning, guys, grabbing my cup of coffee, right? Like all the things. Yes, 5 best sunset spots in your area. I love that one, Rick. That's great. Like, I actually am working on a list of 100 different pieces of content that we can put out as realtors that I will put it on, obviously, shocking. I'll put on my social when it's ready to go. But 5 best, I'm sorry, 5 best, 100 different ideas like that will help us craft our entire content calendar for the year. Because remember, like 80% of the time we're talking personal, 20% is business. To me, a business post is not just I sold a house. It is the 5 best sunset spots in your area. And do you know what I say every single time I share something locally? If you guys, I know a lot of you follow me and would know what I'm going to say right now. It's important to me that I'm not just here for you for real estate, but also all things locally happening in the area. So here, check out the 5 best sunset locations in our area or in Sacramento, right? Or whatever area you live in. So I say this all the time, and I'm going to say it one more time so you can write it down. It's important to me that I'm not just here for you for real estate, but also all things locally. And then you share whatever you're going to share, because I like to think of myself as like the local mayor of our town. And I want to share all the things happening in my area so that when people think of me, they think of my area. You will notice that I talk about Northern California all the time. I don't always say Sacramento because not everybody knows Sacramento, but they think Northern California. And I have amazing friends that live in other parts of Northern California where if I get a referral for them, which some of you are on here right now, I can send a referral their way because I don't serve that area, but they do. And so I'm always down to like help another person grow their business. Okay, so aesthetic feed versus valuable and relevant. So as you can see here, again, I spent all this time with these fancy cover photos, and now I just get to like take a screenshot of the hook and put it on there. It saves me a lot more time, and I don't have to worry about like if it's hurting the algorithm or not. Shorter or longer reels versus short and long. This one was one where I was talking about how to hire the right people for your real estate team and how I have like a system for how I hire people. And that was a longer reel, now short and long. So these short 7-10 second reels where you have like a fun or a fun or a catchy hook, and then you educate in the caption. That's really the good stuff. Single line captions, right? Like anyone else, versus a long caption where I'm really breaking it down. And for me, what I believe in the caption is this is our opportunity to make ourselves the expert in our field. That's where I feel like I have the opportunity to be an expert. So I will entertain them in the post. I will educate them in the caption. Couple other things to grow on Instagram, using stickers and polls. So in your stories, being highly engageable. So asking people like, do you like this or do you like this better? And using the stickers, which it's like that little, it looks like a little Post-it note in the top corner on your stories. That is really, really a great idea to help grow on Instagram. If you're stuck on what to post, you guys, you can see memes, you can see quotes. Feel free to pull a meme or a quote and redo it in your brand colors. Obviously you can tell from this presentation, I'm very intentional with my brand colors. I'm wearing my brand color right now. My cell phone case is my brand color. I'm like obsessed with this brown. And I'm still KW kid. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere, but I just got tired of the red. And that's okay, because we can still build our businesses and still stay true to our stay true to our brokerage and still put our personality into it. That's like one of my favorite things about Keller Williams is that we're able to like brand our own selves on our marketing flyers and on our listing panels. Like I redid all my things and I'm really happy with it. So I take a post or I take a quote or a meme, and then I rebrand it into my brand colors. I love you, Michele. And then SEO or keywords in your captions, we talked about that already. And I want you to think about this too. So the algorithm is constantly scrolling, right? So the words you put on your video and the words you put in your caption, it sees all of that. So what is on your video, the words on your video and in your post, actually, they see all of it and all of that counts. Using ManyChat to get as many leads as possible. So I will be teaching a class on how I have grown. So you might have seen a screenshot in this before, but in the beginning of the year, we had about 11,000 followers. And right now I'm at about 36,000 on Instagram. I've been so intentional with how I build on Instagram. ManyChat is a big way that I've done that. And ManyChat is an automation tool. It's AI. So for a lot of you who are doing this class right now, you commented, for this class right now, your market centers booked this class for you. So big round of applause to our team leaders and our MCAs and our OPs who paid for this class for you guys, because everybody else had to do it on their own. Your market center covered the cost for you. And so with this, guys, ManyChat, like if you want to register for any of my classes, you type in algo and you got the class. I have a class that I'm teaching tomorrow, which I'll pop this slide up for you guys in a second. But I'm teaching a class actually with Michele Zaragoza, who is a team leader here, and a good friend of mine. And we're teaching a class tomorrow on time blocking. So how to time block as a mega agent, how I release like the, pressure and of being like a working mom, and just like how we craft our day. So we're giving you some strategies and tools on how to time block. It's completely free. It's happening on Thursday. If you go to Instagram and you go to any one of my reels and you type in the word time, 10 seconds later, you're going to get a private message from me which is going to give you the link to register for that class. That's called ManyChat. So it has given me hours and hours and hours of my time back. Yep, it's on Thursday. Did I say it wasn't Thursday? It's the 18th. It's not tomorrow. It's the next day. And it's at 9 a.m. So same time that we're meeting today. And if you guys register, you get the recording and it's completely free. But anyways, if you type in time, you're going to get the link immediately sent to you with the link for the webinar to register. That's called ManyChat. I use it for my buyers. I use it for my sellers. I use it for leads. I use it for webinars I teach. It's like my jam, and it's giving me a lot of my time back. The next thing is to not have a link in your bio for like Linktree or any of the other, you want to have a call to action in your bio that's like, click here, and then they can go to Linktree and they can see all the things that you do. But in the new algorithm, you don't want to have like an actual link in your bio. You want to have a link for them to have to click on. Okay. And then this is one I love. So last year you had to do 12 stories in a 24-hour period. Now it's 5 to 7. So 5 to 7 stories in a 24-hour period. And honestly, you guys, taking a screenshot of this right now, this is a great one to do. Take a screenshot of this one, put that in your stories. Got to learn from a top agent today. If you want a copy of my notes, leave your email below. Put that on your post. Put that in your stories. All of these are interactive, and you could do like the little questions box and then type your email below, and then they type in their email, and then you're going to get everyone's email and you can screenshot it and add it to your database. This is how you add value to people. This is how you grow, is by constantly having highly shareable content and things that are adding value to others. Okay, do we need to have a public or a private page? And I'm going to try to get through the rest of this because I want to give you guys some time for Q&A. If you want to build a business through social, you've got to have a public page. You have to have a public page. Guys, I'm not asking you to give me your email. Sorry, if that was not clear. I'm asking you to make a post on your own social media with the notes you took from this class and offer other people that you got to learn from a top agent. If they want to copy your notes, leave their email below. So they're sending you their email address. So you're building your email list. I'm not taking your emails. Public versus private. So if you want to build a business through social media, you definitely want to have a public page, because say someone's like, okay, I totally want to follow Rachel, and I comment on their post and they're interested, and then they click on my page and my page is private. They're going to obviously try to follow me, but by the time I actually accept their friend request, they have no idea who I am, and they have no idea what's going on, and they forgot about me. So if you are truly trying to build through social media, you've got to have a public page. But what I like about that is you get to choose what you talk about, guys. You get to talk about who you are and what matters to you. And if your 5 pillars of content, like I have one of my coaching clients, she's a realtor, but her husband is a cop. And so she doesn't feel comfortable sharing certain things on her social. So we just simply took her 5 passions, her 5 pillars of content. We made them things that she felt comfortable sharing that was still keeping her family safe and protected. So that's what I love about it, is you get to make it your own, right? And this is what a post should really look like. Oops, sorry. This is what a post should really look like the anatomy of a post. So when I do an actual post, I've got the topic of what it is on the top. Then I've got the body of what the post is about. This one was a sour candy charcuterie board I did for my brother-in-law. And then I've got the question. If you don't ask a question, guys, people can't respond to you. So I always like to ask that question so I get the time for them to respond. And then I have an eye-catching photo to grab them. And then look, this one didn't do super great. It was just like a minimal engagement, but that's 28 people I can respond back to and 48 people that I can then send a private message to during a lead gen block. This is how this works, right? So you have highly shareable content that people want to engage with. You ask the question and it gives them a reason to respond to you. Bottom line, guys, people work with people they like and they like you, but they need to know who you are. They want to know what makes you tick. They want to know why they would be friends with you, and how this truly does make an impact on them. A couple things for you before we dig into a couple opportunities that I have and some things to share. So on here, guys, we have I can't see my picture while I'm doing this. Can you guys see my camera? Like, can you see me while I'm talking to you right now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. So you guys have homework. So after this class, I want you to go through and I want you to answer these questions on the homework. So I screenshotted for you the anatomy of a post so you can map that out. But I want you to create your 5 hashtag sets for your pillars of content. I want you to map out what your 555 looks like. I want you to think about a way we post one real estate post and 2 personal posts each week. If you're bold enough, once you guys come up with your 5 pillars of content, send me a screenshot, send me a message on social and share with me what your pillars of content are. And if you have any follow-up questions, I'll do some Q&A here. But if you have anything that comes up during your world in building your business, this is truly what I do for agents and what I love. So like, feel free to message me or send me, something and I'm happy to help. My husband just walked in. Do you want to say hi to them?
Okay.
Oh, yes, you do. You can't see them, but they can see us.
Oh,
This is Ryan.
hello.
He's so cute.
Nice
This is
to
my
meet you.
husband. And they know all about you and they know that you're super hot. So
Oh
it's
my.
most important.
She is biased.
Okay. And then you guys are going to, what I want you to also think about is when I coach people on social, I say to literally like go on your calendar every Sunday and look at where you have opportunity to capture content. Because if you're going through your 5 pillars of content and you want to make sure you hit on each of them, you have to actually put yourself in the environment to set yourself up for success. So if you're supposed to look for 5 date night locations, you are going to be going to those date night locations and getting a teeny bit of content to each one, right? And so when you look at your pillars of content, like just be really intentional that your calendar sets you up for success and you can actually, support that. And then set a time you're going to post each morning. For me, it's usually 7:30. I wake up in the morning before my kids get up at 8, usually. Right now, not happening because Harrison's potty training and it's taking over my life. Ugh. But you're going to set a time you post each morning so that you can stay consistent. And if you miss it, don't stress about it. Do it when you can. And then find an accountability partner that you can brainstorm with. I really think if you can find someone from here that feels good that you can connect with, that's going to be really fun. And then you have an audit. So you each have a social media audit. You can't figure out where you want to go till you first know where you're at, right? So I want you to have like a baseline and figure out where you're at, how many followers you have, what is your vibe, like who is your target audience, what does this look like for you? And once you can get through your social media audit, it's a really good place to know like what you need to do next. Okay, I'm going to jump into some Q&A. Let's see, we have so much more to talk about. But let me get to, there was a question on trending audio. I know that I think Taylor, you had a question on trending audio. So when you're looking for trending audio, when you're on Instagram, you see a little arrow that goes up to the left. That's pointing up to the on your left side of your screen. Your goal is to have the example reels be in the millions, like this one, and then your uses, you want to have the uses to be under 50,000. That's the goal, to be under 50,000, because you want it to be in the upswing of the trend so that you can hop on the trend and go along with it. Okay. Let's see. Okay. I want to give you guys time for Q&A, so we're going to jump through a couple things. Quick special announcement for you guys. You guys get to be the first to know because I have not announced this publicly on social yet, but I am working on a new class, and it's called the Social Selling Realtor. So this is going to be an exclusive masterclass specifically for real estate. This is really if you want to take over your business for buyer leads, seller leads, and also agent referrals. So this is going to be a masterclass. You guys can scan this QR code and get on my wait list. It's currently being built right now, so it is not ready yet, but you will be the first to know, and there will be special discounts for the people who get in on the wait list. We're going to create content that converts. I'm going to help you brand your social media feed. We're going to learn how to create reels that have the right hooks, the right trending audio, and the calls to action. I'm going to optimize your bios for your ideal clients. You are going to get all my systems. So Flowdesk, ManyChat, StanStore, Canva, Brivity, like every single thing I do to build my business, and all my admin systems for how I support my business when it comes in. How to post, what to post, when to post, how to grow your following, the best content calendars that like do not exist yet. I'm working on those right now. All the algorithm changes. So the class that you just took right now, when the algorithm changes each quarter, you'll be able to have lifetime access to be able to get those changes. Templates for your buyers and sellers. So buyer seminars, seller seminars, investor seminars, you'll get all my templates. You're going to get story tips for maximum engagement, all the strategies I use to get my buyer and seller leads. We're going to go over the top 5 mistakes realtors are currently making on social so you don't. I'm going to give you all my best scripts and posting strategies for conversion. And then you're going to get a couple bonuses if you register early for how to convert luxury buyers at your open house. So this is called the Social Selling Realtor. It's currently being trademarked. I'm working on it. I'm super excited. Guys, feel free to grab in on that. And then a couple other things before we jump into Q&A. If you got value out of today and you're like, man, I feel like she's my vibe. I kind of want more of her. I have the coaching crew. It's literally $29 a month. You get twice a month. I come in for 45 minutes and we get to talk about things happening in our industry. Sometimes it's like, hey, this is how I broke into the luxury market. Other times is these are the changes on Instagram. Other times is, hey, like I opened up my entire Canva and we went through my full marketing plan for 2024. The best thing about it is it's also a referral network. We've had over 125 referrals come through the last year. We launched last June. The energy in here is so good. This is my little love fest. So it's called Rachel's Coaching Crew. It's $29 a month. It is the best $29 you can spend for coaching, in my opinion. So that is the coaching crew. And then the other thing that I'll drop you before we jump into Q&A is called the weekly reels. So I believe that a huge part of my growth, one of the biggest parts of my growth on Instagram, is the fact that I do reels. And a lot of realtors are like, I want to do video, but I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. I don't understand the hook thing. What's the trending audio? So every single week, what I do is I pull a trending reel in Instagram. I convert it to be a real estate post. I record the raw footage for you and then I send it to you. So every single week on a Monday, you get an email and it's like, hey, your new reel is ready to recreate. You guys, all you have to do is record the raw footage and send it to me and my team. I edit the entire reel for you. I write the post for you. I do that whole caption. I put I pick the trending audio for you. I give you the hashtags and your geo hashtags that are specific to the area that you live in. This will blow up your social if you do it effectively. So reels are incredible. I told you to do 1 business post, 2 personal posts, and 1 reel. If you do the weekly reels, you're golden. If you guys type in, you can send me a private message and just send me a message and say weekly reel, and I'll send you the link to sign up for this. You can cancel anytime, but you won't. It's $97 a month to grow your social media, and it's highly leverageable. So the company is actually called Get Social Leverage because my husband and I were like, what does everyone keep asking me for? They want me to run their social media. I'm not going to run your social, but I will do your videos for you. So we do a couple hundred agents every month and we handle their reels and it's super duper fun. And the growth is cool because it's like people's social, like I've grown 415%, 219%. Like the engagement that you get on reels is like nothing that you have in your business. So if you guys are struggling with video, hit me up. It's a really fun way to grow. All right, you ready? Let's get social. If you guys would love to stay connected, I know I would. You guys can find me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. If you go to the YouTube channel, click the subscribe button. It's totally free. I do free coaching for realtors all the time. If you want to listen to my voice but not see my face, you can go Sold on This Life is my podcast. I am serving Northern California. I would be so, so honored to service any of your referrals. Let's jump into some Q&A. Holy moly. Okay. How are we? That was a lot. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and hanging out with me. You guys can unmute yourself and we can just chat. To the team leaders and the market centers who set up these classes, huge round of applause for you guys. Thank you so much for making this happen. I'm so glad you guys were here. You are so welcome, Jen. Thank you for being here. Okay, any questions you guys have, you can unmute yourself. We've got a few minutes for Q&A. Let's dig in.
Hey, Rachel, I have a question for you.
Yes. Hi, Arthur.
Hi. I've heard several different ways. Is posting better manual? Is it better to do post manually, or is it okay to schedule things that way you're not having to go in and post manually every day?
Great question. So if it's through the platform, like Instagram, you can schedule a post through Instagram, you're good to go. It doesn't hurt the algorithm. Anything you use outside of it, like Hootsuite, the algorithm does not like because you're not on the platform, so you will get penalized for it. So I would encourage you to, if it's a scheduling tool in the platform, use it. If not, it's going to hurt you.
Like scheduling to the Meta?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So like when I do a lot of like coaching calls and stuff with agents. And a lot of times when I'm doing one-on-one audits with them, I'm like, hey, have your admin on the call with me. And so their admin will be on the call with me. And I'll say, hey, if you have an assistant who can post for you, by all means, have them log in and do it for you as you, if you need the leverage piece on there, but you still need to log in and do the post when you post, because otherwise the algorithm's going to not give you the credit you deserve.
Thank you.
You bet. What else we got? Oh, I love seeing the market centers. You guys. I'm just waving at all your offices. What other questions do we have? Michelle is on vacay. She already has her vacay hat. She's like ready to go have a martini.
Oh, yes, I am, sister.
Good. So Michelle's the one who I'm doing the class with you guys on Thursday. It's not tomorrow. It is Thursday. Don't show up tomorrow. It's at 9 a.m. So the time blocking class, it's totally free, like I said, but we're going through like all our best strategies for how you can more effectively time block as a mega agent. And for me, I'm going to really focus on like the working mom side of things. Michelle, can you drop the link for that class in the chat?
I sure can.
Thank you. Arthur, do you have another question?
I do. So how do we sign up for a social media audit through you?
Just send me a direct message and say you want an audit and I'll send you the link. If
Thank
you
you.
guys are on this class, I'll give you a discount code. And they're all recorded and you get notes and everything from it. Just make sure you have a little bit of thick skin because we're going to break it down and we're going to tear it apart and then we'll make it better and stronger. What other questions do we have, guys? I feel like there was some more.
Hey, Rachel. Could you
Hi.
explain a little more as far as not using Linktree, but using Stand Store, like what the thought process behind it is, or a different type of link than Linktree?
So, okay. So Linktree, I actually prefer Campsite Bio to Linktree just because aesthetically, I think it's prettier because you can like add pictures. Essentially, they all do the same thing. But Stand Store is if you are creating courses or digital products because the checkout is faster and easier than like click here, then go here, then go here. So Stand Store is more for like coaches, I would say. If you're not doing digital products or coaching, I think that Campsite Bio or Linktree can work totally fine. But what you want to make sure, so like, let me share screen and I'll show you what I'm talking about really quick. I'll just go to my Instagram and show you what I'm saying. Hold on 1 second. Let me get out of here.
Yeah, I think that I had a question on it too, Rachel. I think that we were looking at your page. You have Stand Store. I have a straight link. So you're saying Linktree is like having a straight link isn't what the algorithm likes, and then Linktree.
So you can link it where they want you to link it. Here, what agents are doing incorrectly, you guys can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So like I have a call to action where it's like click here for coaching and freebies. So you click here and then the link is where you want to put the link. The mistake agents are making is they're putting their link in their bio, which is like valuable real estate for talking about who you are. When I do my social media audits, the first thing I do is we tear apart your bio. That's like, because you want to optimize the bio for people so that it's like, you want to think of your bio as like a virtual business card. So when they land on your page, they know exactly who you are, where you serve, what you talk about. And so you just want to make sure you don't have the actual link like in your bio part. You want to have it where the link is. Correct. Yeah, not in the description.
Okay, so it doesn't make a difference if you have the link where the link is actually supposed to go and you say like click
that's
here.
What it's for. Yeah, no, that's what it's for. The mistake everyone's making is they're putting it in their actual bio and that's like hurting the algorithm. Okay, Patricia, thank you. Patricia just put the time blocking class, guys, and so did Michelle. So if you guys want that class, you can snag it. All right, what other questions we have? I've got like 2 more minutes.
I had people in the chat asking for the document, so I just put it in the chat as well.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so she also just put the handout link in the
Yeah.
chat. And then we've got Michelle Beaver. We've got a question in your market center. How can I help, girl?
Yeah, I just wanted to know if I already have Instagram. You said that there's the 3 different kinds. There's personal, business, and then
Creator.
yeah, can you transfer it, or do you have to
No, you don't have to
eliminate the old
you just
one?
change go into your settings and change it from business or personal to creator. So it will move your whole account over. I will say this, guys, when you move your profile from a business to a creator account, you will have a downtick in engagement for 1 week. It's only because the algorithm has to relearn how everything's working on your page for who you are, resetting all the formats, but you will have a downtick for a week in your engagement, and then it'll go back up. KW the Lakes, I see you.
How's it going, Rachel?
Hi, honey, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, you're SoCal girl. I'm just kidding.
Right.
I wanted to thank you so much. I just want to verify it's a digital creator, correct? Because I don't see creator, just digital creator when I went through it.
Yeah, you can just
Okay.
correct. You can either one is going to work, digital creator or creator. I'm creator because they didn't have digital creator when I swapped over.
Okay.
So I think creator is good because you'll have the all the trending audio that you need.
Perfect. We just want to say thank you so much for doing this.
You're so
So listen
welcome.
here, say hi.
Hi guys.
Woo, we're big fans. So thank you so much, Rachel.
You're welcome. I know.
I loved how you did it in the market center. That was very smart.
Yeah, you should do. I mean, I think anytime it's offered in a market center, have an event in the market center, but then also give people the link if they can't attend. I think that's the best way to do it. Kathy Gibson, your market center.
Yeah,
They're
she's
full house
rocking
over
it,
there.
yeah.
All right. Do we have any other questions, guys? Anything burning a hole? All right. You know where to find me. Thank you so much for your time. Team leaders, if you registered for this class, you will get the recording sent to you afterwards. I'm so grateful for your time. I'm so grateful for all of the agents who showed up to build their business through social media. If you guys have any questions, if you want social media audits, anything you need, you know where to find me. I appreciate all of you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll see you Thursday. Take care.